Hello guys, welcome back on my YouTube channel. So I'm just gonna make a blackout video instead of making a video that you're gonna see my face. So okay, I've been wanting to expand on something that I actually came across, or as well as something that I had in mind. So I just wanted to expand and make a video that is more like more like because I wrote this thing on my YouTube, on my Instagram. So I feel like, you know what, let me just have this short video regarding what I wrote, where I mentioned that life is about being consciously happy and consciously sad, because there's not in life, we are not always gonna be happy, we're not always gonna be sad. So I believe our own existence, it has to do with duality. Everything is about duality. So whatever that you choose to do is important, because I also get inspiration on one of the famous spiritualist. I forgot his name, but he's actually famous. He's the author of one of the book, Earth. What is the name of the book? New Earth. New Earth. So he's well known, and he wrote a lot of book. I'm sure it's not the only book that he actually wrote. So he wrote something like, life is about being conscious, not about being happy. And I was like, you know what, this is inspiring, because I remember I wrote something back then on Facebook where I actually mentioned about the importance of being conscious, the importance of being not chasing happiness. When you have to chase happiness, you are already out of being conscious. When you are trying by all means to disregard the feelings that you're actually experiencing because you are actually sad, you are already out of being conscious. Because when I mentioned that it's about you being happy consciously and being sad consciously, all of that will need a responsibility. You have to take responsibility, because as much as we want to be happy all the time, it's something that is so impossible. It's a reality that is not even existing, unless if you are some sort of a I don't know, a robot. Because we are supposed to experience all the emotions that we're actually experiencing. Some of them, they're gonna make us happy, some of them are gonna make us sad. So it's part of the process, it's part of being human. So being consciously happy, it's you knowing that happiness is a feeling that is very much temporal. And as much as happiness is something that we find within ourselves, there are actually some other things that are actually the external that make us happy. For example, achieving solving your own problem, for me it makes me happy. So knowing that I solve most of my problem, it makes me happy to go about with my life, knowing that I'm at peace, my soul is at peace, I'm healing, to see myself moving from a place where I thought I would never move from. It makes me happy. So there are actually a lot of things that are externally that make us happy, but despite all of that, happiness is found within. Moving from a sad place to a happy place, it's part of being conscious. It's part of you, because I'm talking about being conscious, being conscious is not something that is actually okay. When I define being conscious, I'm not gonna google it, so I'm just gonna define it the way that it resonate with me. Being conscious, it's allowing you to be mindful, it's allowing you to be present, it's allowing yourself to be mindful of your thought, your the energy that you're actually giving out, the energy that you are actually experiencing it currently. It's just being you, being conscious, being having awareness. So your happiness should have those awareness, your, because I can speak happiness, I can speak of a lot, because I'm gonna make an example about myself. I was so used to the darkness to the point that when I started experiencing light, happiness, I felt the need to sabotage it, not because I felt like I don't deserve it. I felt like, why should I be happy? You know, because it felt like a trap, because I'm so used to being in a place that is so much dark, to the point that whenever I'm experiencing light, I don't know how. I just don't know. I'm still in the process, I'm still healing, but I've seen how far I have come. I do see the different in how I actually react when I'm actually having a lot of things that I'm having, but sometimes I'm still struggling. I have to have a lot of affirmation about telling myself about things that I actually deserve. I have to be I have to be very much present of my energy, because whenever you're experiencing a happy moment, when you experience a lot of sadness, you just it feels so unfamiliar. So you don't know how to respond to it. It's something that is new. It's okay to experience, find yourself pushing it whatsoever. So I'm just talking about the importance of being conscious and happy, because you are you are having awareness of the fact that happiness scare you. You are having awareness of the fact that you're not so used to this energy, so how you can go about experience this happiness. And the thing is, when you actually experience happiness for the first time, you feel the need to try to control it, to always be something that you're always experiencing, to the point that you're not allowing a sadness again. You feel like you don't wanna experience sadness, because you become too attached to it. So that's why I'm talking about the important being consciously happy, being consciously sad, because as much as we want to be happy, all people, we all want an easy life, we all want to experience anything with ease, softness. There's no such a thing as pleasure without pain. There's no such a thing as um there's no such a thing as giving without withholding. So everything has its opposite of whatever form. As much as happiness has its sadness, in order for us to appreciate the happiness that we are actually experiencing, we had to understand the sadness that we actually endure, or that we had to go through, in order for us to recognize that we're actually in a place where we are experiencing happiness. Because sometimes you won't even realize, because you're so used, as I said, I was so used to the point that I used to push it away. I was so used to sadness. If sadness, it was something that I've never experienced, I wouldn't have known what happiness is. I wouldn't have known that part of being in heaven is being heaven on earth. No, being at peace, your soul being at peace, to be guided intentionally, to be guided by your soul, like I am right now. So I'm in a place where I've never thought it's possible for me. I've never thought it's actually a choice. It's something that I had to have. I thought maybe it's not something that I was meant to have, So, it's important whenever you're experiencing whatever in your life, even sadness, when you're actually sad, I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm not gonna fake positivity, because faking positivity itself, it's by you not allowing yourself to be conscious. You are not conscious. Instead, you are faking it because you're so used to being happy to the point that you're pushing away when it's a phase for you to be sad, which is necessary for your own growth. We are the seeds. So the seeds, in order for it to bloom, it has to go through darkness itself. So whenever you're feeling like, okay, why it's taking so long to be in this sad phase, why it's taking so long my money to manifest, why it's taking so long to have the house that I actually want. Just think about, if I say I want 27 million, and then that 27 million just go about in my bank, and do you think I will know how do you think I will know the meaning of money? Do you think I will know how to use that money? Do you think I will know the importance of investing in making best decisions? I wouldn't know, because I'm so used to just like, and the next thing, whatever that I'm manifesting, it comes. So it's important to be mindful of knowing the inner knowing that the phase that we experience that comes with sadness, it's also necessary for us. It's not a punishment. It's not a phase where we feel like we're not being loved, because I once read in one of the books that I actually read back then, where an author said something like, it's also divine love to experience the unpleasant moment, and it's extremely divine, because without it we wouldn't understand the pleasant divine love, without knowing how it was going through that. Even in those unpleasant divine love, we lose a lot. We can lose our own home, we can lose our family, we can lose our loved ones for good in this lifetime. It's also divine love. We're gonna question a lot why it's happening to us, why you feel like you're not being loved. Probably go through a lot. So it's part of our own growth. So recently I've been triggered by my nephew. So what happened is, with my nephew, he's going through so much in his life. So he just started smoking weed again. He just relapsed. He went back to his old habit of trying to escape pain. So I just wanted to ask him why, because he has done so much, like going from a place where he said he will never go back, and to see him letting himself go again, it was kind of like a phase that I was not, I won't, obvious I was not expecting, but at the same time, I won't say I was disappointed. Instead, I was kind of like, it was actually a first time in my life, because initially when he started smoking weed and drinking heavily, it bothered me. I was just a control freak. I wanted him to be better. I wanted to fix him. I wanted him to be, to be the old Eva. And when we actually gave up, in terms of like, you know what, we just gave up. We don't know the outcome, how it's gonna turn up. Will he just become the old giver? What happened is, when we're just focusing on ourselves, focusing on, we already surrender, allowing ourselves a phase where we surrender. We no longer want to try to fix him. We're no longer trying to, when the pain was already gone within him, we were all surprised. We were all happy for him. Like, we were all like everyone. And I was like, this is what happiness is. We were so happy for him. Like, we were so happy. And then I heard that he went back to it after being sober, I think for 2 years or 3 years. And the next thing he went back, 2021. I was like, oh my god. When I heard, I was like, okay. But I feel like I have a lot of trust towards him over any family member, because I'm not in contact with my family, but I know about him, about what he's up to or whatsoever. So I'm kind of curious what version that is gonna come after whatever phase that he was experiencing, because I know he's destined for greatness. I know this is one of those phases where you consider he's going through something, he's hurting, he's going through some sadness, he's trying to push it away, he's not being conscious of the decision, that he's aware that whatever he's doing is not going to help him to run away whatever emotion that he's actually experiencing. But because he's still in that energy of trying to escape, being a escapist, being constantly escaping whatever emotion that he is actually experiencing. So what does he do? He goes back to his drinking habit, to his smoking habit, smoking heavily. I think it's the first time where I was not being triggered to want to fix him. He was just mirroring a part of myself that I was not aware that I already held so much from. I was not pushing for him to be controlling him. Instead, I was just letting him be, because I know this is just a phase for him, hopefully. And I don't know what, as much as last time he closed it, and so the fact that it came back, that means he still need to let go of whatever toxic cycle that is actually going to. But I'm curious what version that will come up to be, because I know he will become the best thing. He always surprises us. So I'm just hope, because I have, like, I don't put him on a pedestal, because he's human. We make mistakes, we do a lot of things, but to see your friends, doing good, people around you that you actually care about, you're just being consciously happy. Instead, you not think about when my goal is gonna happen. You're just allowing that phase, allowing to know that people bloom differently at the different time. We're all not gonna pop at the same time. So we all gonna pop, but not at the same time. It's his or her face to go through whatever. So it makes us happy. You're being conscious, being aware that as much as your friend just bought a house, just got married, have kids, they have all of that, and then you see your friends having kids now and then you experience some phase where you're not getting pregnant. If you wouldn't have experienced that phase where you're waiting for years to conceive, that sadness, because eventually you have to let go of that self-pity, that pity party that you actually have, and knowing that as much as you are a co-creator, not the whole creator of your whole life. You are just a co-creator. There is a higher power above you. You can always do everything for yourself. Just you are not in control. Everything is happening in a divine timing. Even your healing, you having awareness, you having awareness of your, when you find yourself pushing away sadness, because pushing away sadness, it's toxic. It's not gonna give you anything. You're not gonna benefit from doing that. You're not gonna be happy for allowing yourself to be allowing you to deceive yourself with such things, because they are temporary. Everything is temporary, you know. So being consciously happy, it's a decision, it's a choice. It's also a responsibility. We are accountable for it. Being sad, it's also a responsibility. We are accountable, we are responsible. So you can't tell me that you're gonna be sad for that boyfriend that broke your heart in high school when you were 16 and you were actually 27. Are you telling me that you're still stuck on that? As much as maybe you haven't healed from it, at least move forward with your life in terms of you achieving things. You're not putting so much value on wanting, like, do you know those people who put value in things like that don't matter? For example, I just want my ex to see me doing better. I just want I want him to see how much him is missing. I want him to regret it. Why are you putting so much value in how your ex partner view you? Why are you putting so much value? Why are you allowing him or her to direct how you actually come about with your life? Why are you putting so much effort in how he actually perceive you? You know, the fact that your partner broke your heart when you were 16, whether through cheating, he cheated because he wanted to. It has nothing to do with you. The only thing you have to do is it's either you go through whatever the heartbreak pain that we actually experiencing, and then you are being consciously sad because you are sad. You were hurt, you are hurting, you were hurting, you are hurting. You wanting yourself to be in a place where, but of course you can't just take the pain away. Most of the time pain, it's us making a decision that we are healing. It's you wanting to be responsible, you wanting to move, to not wanting to be in a same place emotionally, mentally, psychologically, as well as physical, because a breakup can affect you physically. So you are being conscious. You are done with being in a place where you are self-pitying yourself. You are done with in a place where you are putting so much value on how your partner perceive you, because he perceive you. How he perceive you, it has nothing to do with your worth. It's you who get to define your worth. It's who get to define, or it's who get to make, who get to tell people how you want to be treated. Just because that person is not treating you that way, then why are you still there? Because obviously when you did communicate your needs and that person is not willing to do that, so why are you still there? Just change lane. Just change. Just observe. Why are you actually entertaining a partner that is actually not willing to put effort in whatever union that you actually have? So I'm talking about things that are actually, you are being consciously taking responsibility about your own sadness. You are taking responsibility about your own happiness. You're making a choice. When I say you make it, for example, I know we are in a world where they value competition. So for me, I just move away from that mindset. It's just two metrics. So when you are living a life, it's okay to not compete with anyone. It's not wrong, it's actually healthy. For example, I've been wanting to participate in running and having like at least 10 kilometer run, 15 kilometer run. I've never had a 5 kilometer run in like a formal one where I had back then when I was a kid, but for now I feel like I just want to have it for myself, not competing, not willing to um, to compete. Yes, it's gonna be a competition, but I just wanna compete with myself. I just wanna challenge myself. That's a healthy competition. So I'm just taking a decision that I'm just gonna do that. It's a decision. It's gonna make me happy. It's gonna make me sad, but it's my responsibility. The fact that I tried to do it individual at first before having a formal one where I participate with other participants, but eventually I'm not competing with anyone. I'm just competing with myself, challenging myself. I'm just taking a decision. I'm making a choice to be consciously happy, to be also consciously sad. Because when you're practicing for any kind of thing, even if you want to be a YouTube channel, it has its own challenges. It's gonna make you sad, it's gonna make you happy. Like, there are so many challenges. If you can ask any YouTuber about what challenge are they actually experiencing, you just see the outcome. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what went down. You don't know. Sometimes the whole fucking video won't post for fucking 3 days, and you'll be like, you know. And the next thing you just be like, there's no way I can just try for 3 days. And the next thing, when you just surrender and then the video just got uploaded, sometimes you don't know which video is gonna, we're in a place where you just like, whatever happens. So I'm just talking about something like that. You can't just screams and get angry all the time. Just be conscious about why are you angry and why is happening. How I can move about solving your own problem. It's happiness. It's a conscious happiness. So thank you guys for listening to my blackout video. I don't know why I went for it, because it's a first time making video like this, and it made me feel so weird. I don't know whether what I said makes sense, but I hope someone understand what I was trying to say in this video, because wow. Thank you.